Good evening to all of the alpha males. Good evening to all the feminine women out there. And good evening to all of the beta males who seek to make the transition. You will make the transition. Alright. This video is a cold video. Alright. And I'm not going to make it too long. This video is about the cold reality of how God wired the world, that if you do wrong, wrong will happen to the point where it'll be too much for the emotional man to bear. Okay? Because he's not connected to God. So with that being said, check this out, right? This video is about if you repeatedly get arrested for long periods of time, and even the last time where you're in there for a long time, is your girl hypergamous? Do you really believe that if you get arrested for 15 years, 10 years, let alone 5 years, is your girl gonna still want to deal with you? Alright? The cold hard truth to that reality of how God wired the world. See, God didn't wire the world for that to be okay. So he's not going to sit there and make it okay for you if you still choose to go to prison repeatedly over and over, just downing your life, right? Your value is going down, right? You hold no value to her when you're in there. What can you do? You can't touch her, right? You can't screw her, right? You can't supply for her. You can't take her out on dates. You can't do anything, right? No, a lot of people say, oh, my girl gonna be faithful to me. Well, how long you gotta do? Oh, 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. The cold reality is God hardwired females to be completely hypergamous when you just decide to keep giving the government what they want out of you, your time. That values them and takes value from you. Alright? Because this world is so indoctrinated that it indoctrinates boys from an early age to screw themselves over when they get older. Alright? That's what the world wants to do. They want to get boys at an early age to screw themselves over when they get older so they could get the time from the man that benefits them. Because, right? These videos are really cold here, alright? So again, I say this all the time. If you can't handle this truth, and if you still decide that you want to go to prison in and out, and still think that your girl is still gonna be a perfect little angel for you while you're in there, she's not. Okay? Because God, that's not okay. If you think wrong is right, then you're not right. If you think right is wrong, then you're wrong. You ain't right. Shit like that. So God made this world for you to live a certain way. And if you don't live the way he wants you to live, if you notice, you're just going to screw yourself over. And to the point you initially come to your demise, where you will screw yourself over for eternity when you're in a place that you really wouldn't want to be at once you're there. Okay? So yes, when you're arrested for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you don't think that there's other guys out there that she's looking at while you're in there, right? She knows what time you're going to call, because you call at certain times. They allow you to call because you can't even make calls like that when you want to, right? You don't think there's other guys out there that she's looking at while you're in there? See, Women are in constant search for the highest value male they could find. That's how God made them. They want the highest value male they could find. You don't think she's gonna jump on if a high value man sees her and he gives her the eye while you're in prison, you hold no value to her at this point because you can't do nothing for her. The high value man holds all the value because he's nothing but value. He is valued, and he values himself enough not to willingly put himself in a place that benefits the doctrination. Alright? He's out there, you're in there. He's a high value man. You lost all your value because you're in prison. Right? And you still think she's gonna be faithful to you? She might still put money in your account. She might still come visit you. Right? But at the end of the day, man, she's counting down. Oh my God, he's away for 10 more years. This high value alpha male right here is maybe I'll just invite him over. He seems like he's a cool guy or whatever, but maybe I'll invite him over. I mean, my man is not going to call me right now because it's lockdown time, so he's not going to call me during this time, so I guess he could come over. Right? And you would still choose to put yourself in prison for the rest of your life? That's not high value, man. That's low value. Why would you want to keep benefiting the government by downing yourself? You're upping the government by downing yourself. They get paid every day you sit in there. If I'm pretty sure everyone knows that by now. So why would you continue to want to put yourself in prison? Right? It's basic instructions before leaving Earth. If you don't follow those instructions, you will live a living hell. You will live a living hell, man. Do you ever notice that? If you don't give your life to Christ, if you're anything else, if you worship anything else not Jesus, do you notice that you're still having emotional problems? Right? Do you still notice that you're easily triggered? Right? Do you still notice that you could easily just put yourself back in prison for a long time, benefiting the government and taking all of your benefits away? Can't touch women no more. You can't disrespect a woman the way you would want to in a bedroom no more, the way she loves it. Right? You can't touch a woman. You can never love a woman physically anymore because you took that away from yourself. And that's how the world is wired. Once you do that, your girl is gonna count. She's gonna think about how long you have to do in there. And you cannot give her that much attention like that no more because you're restricted for fractions of the day because you can't do it when you want to, as to opposed to when you are free. Oh my God, he got 10 more years. He got 20 more years. But this high value alpha male right here is just she's gonna take that chance. She's gonna do it. Okay? Are you still gonna put yourself at risk and put yourself in prison? See, when the red pill says you must take risks, that doesn't mean risking your God freedom to give the Matrix what they want. Right? To give Satan what he wants. That's all Satan wants to do. He wants you to he either wants to throw you in prison or he wants you dead without Christ so he could just take you. When you die, he could just take your soul free of charge. Just free. You can just take it. That's what Satan wants. He wants to down you in any way possible. He wants you to have most feminine traits as possible. He wants you to down yourself to prison for the rest of your life, for a lot of time in your life, constantly, over and over. And he just wants you to die without Christ so he could just take you because he wants you. And when he gets you, It's over. Alright? So all these guys out here thinking that they have a girlfriend and they're doing all this and that and potentially downing themselves in prison, getting 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, thinking that female hypergamy is not real? Man. I'm not the bearer of bad news, because this is not bad news, because this is actually good news, because anybody who is dealing with these type of problems that they're going through mentally because they're not mentally free needs to hear things like this so they can free themselves from Satan's bondage. Alright? So this is actually good news. It's only bad news if you can't accept it and still choose to do stupid crap to down yourself. Alright? So it's up to you. Are females hypergamous when you're put away for a long time because Satan has you in bondage? It's all Satan's plans, baby. It's all his plans, man. And once you give Satan his plans, nothing good will happen. Because Satan is nothing good. He's not good at all. He's evil. So when you give in to Satan subconsciously, nothing good will happen for you. Alright? And if you're not for Jesus. Okay? This is the sad hard truth. If you're anything not of Jesus, if you notice, if you worship or do anything else, are you still a part of certain things in the world that you're not supposed to be part of? You most likely are, if you're not for Jesus, right? Right? I mean, I get down to the nitty gritty. I gotta tell you that men need to wake up at this point. Alright? This world is getting out of hand. If you're not for Jesus, and if you don't live the way he wants you to, you're still going to have emotional problems as a man, right? You're still going to potentially put yourself away in prison for a long time, if not forever. And if you have a girl, she will become hypergamous. She will. Alright? So all that, oh, my girl faithful, when you're doing wrong and you think wrong is right, guess what? No, she will not. She's going to be out there looking for the bigger, better deal, the highest male she could find. And once she finds that man, oh my gosh, she most likely won't tell you. And when you come out, she most likely gonna do things with you, of course. I mean, I don't see why not. But at the end of the day, when you were there, she was completely hypergamous, and she will be. Alright? So all that, she's sticking with me. If you're married to her, yeah, she might stay married with you, but at the end of the day, man, that's not how God wired the world to be. So if you're living not the way God wants you to live, certain things is going to happen that you don't want to happen. Alright? And that is facts. And that is that's the cold truth right there. Alright? Because that's how God made the world. See, if you don't follow the basic instructions before leaving Earth, nothing good will happen. Alright? Okay? That's like playing a video game with you not knowing what to do or how to play, and you go in it without following the instructions, and then you lose. Alright? You will lose life. You will lose your life. You will lose this game of reality. You will lose this game called reality, because you're gonna down yourself emotionally and physically eventually. Alright? So, to answer your question, if you're doing wrong, thinking that is right, and if you have a girl, and if you think she's going to be faithful to you for 10 years straight, 20 years, 15 years with no digging stick, she will be hypergamous. Alright? You accept it, you don't. If you don't want to accept it, that's up to you. It's your life. Alright? You have a choice for all of this. Alright? The Lord loves us so much that he gives us a choice to choose him. And if you don't choose him, that's your choice. Alright? But you're just going to have to deal with all the things that will happen, that you're not going to like, that you won't be able to handle. Okay? With that being said, red pill reality, alpha male mentality.